going to ask everyone who's here to have a think about what do you wish, or what do we wish we had known when we were first starting out in the business, whether we're hacks, whether we're hackers, whether we're a bit of both. What did we wish we had known on that first day when we were just first starting out? And in the spirit of that, I'll offer 3 things from my 20 years in the television news business. And the first is this. One piece of advice would be never take no for an answer. I still have the extremely politely worded rejection letter that I got from the first team that ever eventually gave me a job after I just kept knocking and knocking and knocking on their door ever more politely until they eventually gave up and hired me. Second piece of advice, once you have been hired and you're producing your first ever television report for national television and you decide to edit out completely the correspondent as a creative choice, it's probably a good idea to warn her in advance because otherwise she gets very, very cross. And the third piece of advice would be this. If you get asked to cover the Oscars and you happen to be from Scotland, it is really good advice to go in full dress kilt for about the first 90 minutes because you will look fantastic. That said, as the evening progresses and you realize that essentially what you're doing is standing outside in the cold, in a car park, for about 12 hours watching other people go into the world's most glamorous party, it's just really very uncomfortable. And I think those are words that we can all live by. What I'd like to do is just ask for 3 or 4 volunteers just to present back some of the other ideas that people have had. We will collect up everything at the end, and that will be a kind of resource for everybody.
Hi, I'm Tom with Pop-Up Newsroom. I'm just going to pick the 3 that I like the best, is that all right? We had quite an interesting group of hacks, hackers, others, and some people relatively new to journalism who had some really good insights. So I think my 3 favorites. It's okay to take the long road and try lots of different things in your career, which I think is people who've done that always bring a lot of experience from other areas, which I like working with those people. Making it as a journalist is a myth. You're always learning. I think a lot of people go into journalism thinking at some point they're going to be a journalist, and actually you're always learning. There's always new things to be developing, and this was my favorite one, and we talked a little bit about this in the group, which felt particularly relevant for journalists, which is don't fear collaboration. Reach out to others. It can be powerful, which I think deserves a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Christopher Weatherhead, also from Privacy International, representing. I'm going to choose a few from here. So, ask for your money and always charge a late fee. I quite like that one, especially if you're a freelancer. This was actually one we had a quite long discussion about, is don't stay in your silo, which is also don't necessarily get constrained by your role. If you want to, even if you're a graphic artist, you could go and do story writing or something else. There's no one's gonna knock you for going to produce a documentary or something instead. Don't forget to press record. In a slightly different vein from the one you were talking about, respect your elders, but don't get bullied by your age. We had a discussion about how if you're the young person, you end up writing all your articles about Tinder because you're the only one who knows what Tinder is. Tech giants' free stuff isn't free. Lawyers don't always know best. Get a second opinion. Cheers.
Thank you very, very much indeed for that. I've learned a huge amount this evening, and I'm going home with the words "don't forget to press record" ringing in my ears. Really appreciate that. Let's take a break. There's plenty more alcohol at the back. Thank you very much.